Hi, everyone. I always like to take that beat. Okay, so I'm going to go live with someone. Thank you guys so much for sending your requests and questions. Again, I reiterate every time I watch an episode of the show how good it is, and how talented the cast is, and how amazing the writing is. And I have to talk about the music as well. The music choices are so good. Like, I find myself like doing this at the end. I'm sorry, was reading comments at the same time. I also thought it was really interesting, and I think I already subconsciously realized this, but not until now did I kind of go, oh yeah, like Found is really about helping those in need. And I feel like this fundraiser it goes very hand in hand, and I think I'm really grateful to be a part of this and be able to do this. I think all of us in LA are trying to find ways that we can help. And again, I will reiterate, that just can be support. That doesn't have to be in a financial way. I just felt today would be a nice way to do a fundraiser or show support in the ways that we can, while getting to watch a show that really mirrors the same message. So thanks everybody for joining me for this. I know it's some crazy times in the world right now. I'm gonna go live with Laura in just a little bit. It's actually, I'll answer a couple questions. It's actually early here. It's only 10:43 a.m., which I know for some people it's a very different time. And thank you guys for joining. A lot of people from Brazil. I will be going to Brazil. I think that is absolutely happening this summer. So excited to finally get to Brazil. Thank you, coffee. I'm actually needing some more coffee too, but it's not 3 a.m. here, so a little different. I love you guys all too, and thank you so much for joining in on this. I was really nervous. I haven't gone live in a really long time, but doing it for a good cause is really what motivated me. Like, I was so nervous that I did not sleep well last night at all. And it was a tough decision to do this because I was like, is this the right thing to do? Like I said, all of us in LA are trying to figure out how we can help in all the ways we can help. So thank you so much for showing your support today for this fundraiser and for Found, which, like I said, is a show that really helps those in need. And it's so fantastic. It's so good. Oh, and just a little tidbit, I don't know if you guys knew, is the character, I think his name was Ivan, is played by, oh my God, I'm like, her name just went goodbye. Camilla Luddington's husband, which I thought was really interesting. I saw his face on here. I was like, oh! And I had to double check online, but that's really cool. A little bit of tidbit. Okay, I'm going to go live. I have to remember how to do this. Did I do it right? Found watching this. View request. Laura, since I can't seem to find you, send a request if you're on here right now so we can hop on. Laura sent a message to me, but also sent a list of questions that I thought were really, really smart and really well thought out. So I love you guys too. Technology. And technology is always changing. Like, today I'm learning about channels. Tomorrow I'm going to learn more about threads. Like, it's constantly evolving. I'm gonna get this on here. Found it. It's like the waiting moments.
Hi,
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm totally nervous.
It's okay. I get nervous too, but the truth is usually no one can tell. I always learned that way back in the day. Like, no one really knows how nervous we are. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Nice to see you
Good.
again after
Nice to
Paris.
see you again too. Thank you for submitting the questions. They're so good. Did you just come up with those, or did you had those in your mind, or like you pre-did those?
With some of them, and I talked to a lot of friends. We are watching, actually, we're watching your no, Found episodes together. over every week with Jesse and Tanya, and you know them.
Yes.
So yes, we are excited for your episode tonight. It's
Thank you
actually
all for
5 a.m. for us, so
It's what time, right? Oh, it's on at 5 a.m., right?
5 a.m. Yes, like
I'm so,
station.
it's just like Station. I was like, I couldn't get on a show that aired much earlier. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. We love it. So we stay up all night watching.
And then I think you guys have told me before, when do you guys eventually get sleep? Because you don't go to bed, right? Right after, you like tough it out.
Yeah, normally I try to sleep before,
Mm.
like 2 or 3 hours, and then afterwards, because I'm a university student and I work in the afternoon or go to uni at the afternoon, so I can sleep a bit longer. But some of my friends have to go to work at 7 or 8, so that's hard. So
It's true dedication and it doesn't go unnoticed. I'm very
yeah,
appreciative and thank you.
we love it
Well,
always.
what were your questions? I'll let you take it from here.
Okay. I have a few. So
Okay.
first, what do you, what my English? Oh
It's
my gosh.
okay.
Um, what drew you to this role in Found, and what do you think sets this series apart from other dramas?
What was the first part of that? I just didn't hear you.
What drew you to this role in Found? Why did you choose the role?
I loved the writing. That was the main thing. I remember I got it and I was like, this writing is so good. There's certain scripts you get that the dialogue feels clunky and it doesn't feel like it flows. And I read the sides and I was like, this is such an easy, effortless character in the way it's written. But also, I loved the mystery. Like, I knew
Mhm.
immediately in those scenes that there was more to her than what meets the eye. Like, I just knew. I was like, ooh, I want to know more about her immediately. And so that was what drew me in, mainly the writing, and just how what the show's known for too. And then it's a show that separates itself from other shows because it's kind of this perfect mix of a procedural drama mixed in with like there's another word for it, like like something that has an overarching story, like so much of network television, if you guys know. And Station 19 was somewhat like this too, but most shows you can kind of tune out, not watch multiple episodes, and then tune in and you hadn't missed a thing because every episode is about just a missing case or finding something or solving something. And this show mixed perfectly. Every episode was a missing person's case, which you connected with and wanted to find out with them and discover with them. But also on top of it, it has this amazing underlying story with amazing character arcs. Like you love all of the characters on the show, or love to hate them, or whatever it is you love to do with them. Um, and so it mixed both of those together extremely well. And the creator NK, I think, is brilliant at that. She's so smart. Like I sit there sometimes, I don't know if you feel this way, but I watch the show and I'm like, this show is way too smart for me sometimes. Like,
Yeah,
right? Like some of the, I mean, you go to uni, so like, but some of the references, the books and stuff, I'm like, I need to read more. I need to do that.
I love
Um,
this.
and then what was, sorry, I'll stop because then I ramble sometimes. What was your second question?
Um, what the series sets apart from other dramas was the second
And I
part.
think that's the element that it blends the two really well. Of every episode is a case, and yet overarching, it's about the characters. Because I don't know if you would agree, but a lot of shows like the ones that do just have those individual cases every episode, they don't delve into the characters very much.
Yes, and normally there's like a police officer or a detective who solves the problems. Um, but in this show, all of the characters have their own story, and all of them have missing persons or were the missing person.
Which is, I think, what makes you truly love a show is when you get to know the actual characters. I will say that was a lot of what was so amazing about Station 19. It wasn't, and what makes Grey's Anatomy so well, I think the Shondaland shows are really, and I think Shonda Rhimes has said this before, they're really about character development and knowing the characters. And so I think that shows. But I'm glad
Exactly.
you like
And
it.
the first thought when I heard that you are playing a lawyer or attorney, I can't say this word, I'm sorry,
No,
a
attorney,
lawyer,
but it's okay. Don't,
attorney, thank you,
don't worry about it.
um, is your life back during COVID with Stefania, where you said if you wouldn't be an actress, you would be a lawyer, and she said you would be a hot lawyer, and this was my first thought.
I didn't even
I loved
know.
it.
I didn't even remember that. I always knew I said if I wasn't an actor, I'd want to be a lawyer. That's something I've
Yes.
said for a long time. So it's fun to get to play it. But I did not realize she said you'd be a hot lawyer. That's pretty funny. It was fun
So
to.
I have another question.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
go, go, go.
no, no. My next question fits to this. So,
Ah, yeah.
which traits or personal experiences of your character resonate with you the most?
It's hard to sometimes answer that because the character is going to evolve so much and you're going to get to see so much of her. But I think I just I it's hard to say without trying to spoil anything. Um, I think what you'll I at least realize in the end is I'm really trying to tread carefully to not spoil anything. I just think she's a real person with real issues, and I think I'm a pretty open and vulnerable person with everybody. I think I try to be as open about everything as possible. And I think
Sure.
she ends up being very vulnerable and open in the end. And you kind of get to see her grow and evolve as a person. So I think that's what it is. I mean, maybe at the forefront of who she is when she comes out, she's like ambitious and passionate about what she does. And I think that's really probably very much me too. I would say I'm pretty ambitious when it comes to like,
You
okay,
are.
work and passion and what I love. So yeah, probably those two things. She's what I love about her is she is very unapologetically herself. Like I'm always like the anxious like person that's like, "Oh gosh, why did I say that? Oh no, like that was so silly. That was so stupid. Why did you know?" And she does not do that at all. She walks into a room. She's like very much
She
like,
owns the
God,
room.
I what'd you say?
She owns the
She
room, but like you,
does.
obviously.
Like I said, I'm nervous like 99.99% of the time. I just walk in with as much confidence I can, which is, I think, where it's interesting the conversation of fashion because I brought it up with Shanola and I love this character's fashion as well. And not to be somebody who's just talking about fashion, but I think it was Zendaya who said it recently about basically it's kind of like a mask you get to wear to kind of
Mhm.
like change your persona and it kind
Yes.
of is like the shield of armor. And I kind of feel like you know me at conventions, like I'm like, give me like decked out outfits. And it kind of feels like because of that outfit, I can walk in and be like, ha. um,
Yes.
yeah. And so I think Heather's a little bit like that too. Sorry, I'll stop
That's
talking.
exactly what you presented in the scene within the trailer. Like,
I know. I can't believe they released that. I was like, guys, really? And I wasn't prepared for it because I knew when it was going to air. I was like, oh gosh, I'm nervous. And then I saw all these posts that had already come out, and I was like, no. So that
we
made me
loved
blush
it.
pretty hard.
Yes, thanks. I can tell you we loved it.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. It was very
Okay.
nerve-wracking to shoot.
We no. Um, I'm searching for my questions. Mm, if you couldn't play your current role at Found, which character would you love to portray and why?
On the
Like
show,
in
like
the
if
show.
it
Yeah,
wasn't Heather.
on the show.
Um, I'm not even gonna say Gabby because like no one can touch that. But I
You
think I
could.
would I think I would love to play Margaret. I don't know
Mhm.
why. I just like she gets me so emotional and her story is so complex. I mean, Kelly is fantastic at it. Um, but she would be fun to like get into and so much of it is nuanced and subtle and she can I don't know. There's something that really draws me
Mhm.
to her. Um, Gabby's just a badass.
Yeah.
Like,
What about Sir?
oh,
Would you
oh
love to
God.
play his role? I think it's
What
really
about his
difficult to play, so.
it and he's so good at it. And I remember Mark Hall
Mhm.
saying one day, he's like, it takes that the character takes a lot out of him. Like it's a role that he kind of like it definitely weighs on him and he has to be like
Yeah.
because it's so intense. And he does such a fantastic job at it. Like I mean, I know there was like an interview I saw him do where he's like, "Oh, my friends are like, this is a role you should play." I'm like, it's the furthest thing from what I witnessed of him being. Like, he's also got this dry sense of humor, and you know me, I'm gullible. So like
Mhm.
there were multiple times at first when I met him that I was like, I don't know if this is a joke or not. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to laugh or if I'm supposed to take him seriously. So it took me a while to get used to the fact that I was like, okay, he's always basically tongue in cheek, being witty. But he is fantastic in the role. And it's like he's so great at it that you love to hate him, but then you have this weird kind of connection with him that you're like, I don't want to see anything bad happen to him, but he is a bad person. At least
Mhm.
that's what I think some people feel. Other people probably are like, no, put him in jail, be done with this. I just think it's just the whole show is so complex, and I think I really appreciate that. It's hard to find these days in shows. It feels like, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you.
Was that it, or was there one more?
I have some more if you have time. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
prepared.
do it until 11 was going to be my cutoff so that I stick with my 45-minute thing.
Okay. Okay.
Trying to stay on some sort of a schedule. So yeah, go for it.
Okay. Which no, this is I already did this. Uh, wait. How did you prepare for your role? Were there any particular challenges or research you had to do before?
I didn't do any research before. I really listened to my gut in what was on the page for the most part. I think what was the most daunting is I didn't know where she was going to go. And I kept having this desire to reach out to the creator and say, "Hey, so what's going on with her? Can you tell me more?"
Hmm.
and and I had to really fight against that because I just wanted to kind of start from a blank slate, decide who I thought she was. And then when I finally got to find out more and kind of unravel the truth, I was able to layer that in and add that into who I was already playing. And I think it worked out really well, thankfully. I did send one
We will
email
see.
to the creator. What'd you say?
We will see, but I think so.
Exactly. Um, I did send one email to the creator at one point because I was like, okay, I don't need to bug anyone. I'm just gonna, and I sent an email and I said, just want to know, like, am I anywhere near hitting the mark? Like, I think I am, but if you could just, and thankfully she was like, yes, keep doing what you're doing. And if I wasn't like happy with what you're doing, I'd let you know. I was like, okay, okay.
Amazing.
So it was kind of a role that like less was more in a sense. Like when I did Maya, it was so much about learn how to be a firefighter, learn how to put on a uniform, learn
Mhm.
the technical aspects of like what do firefighters do, and really get into a character. Whereas with Heather, it was much more be open to what each script gives me because each script I had no idea. Like after this episode, the next episode, you're like, huh? And then the next episode like that, you're like, wait. so so it's one of those things that I'm glad that I didn't try to prepare anything and just went in kind of with blank slate. So
Love it. Thank you. One last
yeah.
question. What's your favorite episode, which has you in it,
Mm.
coming up?
Ooh. I don't know what number it is. Where's my iPad? Hold on. The problem sometimes is like all episodes start to be a blur, you know?
Mhm.
Like you're like, which one was that? I think, I mean, the finale is an amazing one, but there's one, the finale is fantastic. But I'm gonna check real quick what the one is that like definitely was the scariest to shoot because I was so nervous not to screw it up.
I
Um,
love all my friends writing in the comments. Thank you, Laura. Amazing. Thank you.
I
All
made it
my
like
friends
so,
are writing.
and you killed it. You didn't seem nervous at all.
I am.
Was it 19? I think maybe it's 18. Hold on one second. I'm definitely going over my time by doing this, but I want to find an answer for you. Um, is it this one? Okay, let's find out. It's like dun dun dun. Um, I'm trying. I'm searching. Why don't I do this? Sorry.
Oh, good.
Usually there's a way to like Everybody's like, what is she doing? Here we go. Okay, so I think the one that scared me the most and probably is the most challenging as an actor was episode 218 of this season. So I'm excited for you guys to see that one specifically, at least from my character standpoint. Obviously, every episode I want you guys to see because I think the show is amazing. But that one for sure, as an actor, it scared me. I was like, okay, they've set a high bar.
I'm sure you did amazing.
Thank you for the support always. This was
Always.
great. Thank you so much for your questions and so
Thank
good to see
you.
you as always.
Thank you so much. And have fun watching your own episodes. I hope you do. I hope you will
Thanks.
do
It's never as much fun watching yourself.
it.
It's kind of like this, like the whole time, but
No,
I enjoyed
it
it.
would be
So
amazing.
thank
It
you.
would be amazing. I will watching with my friends, probably live. I would try. I would try to keep to stay awake.
Do what you need to do. Just thank you for the support. You do not
Oh,
need to stay up
wait,
until
I
5
noted.
a.m.
Yes.
Enjoy the rest of today and thank you for this. Thanks
Thank
for being
you.
part of it.
And give Francis a big hug,
I will.
please.
Thank you for all the support. It
Thank
really
you.
means a lot to me. Oh, that's the part that's going to get me emotional. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. And I'll
Thank
talk to you
you.
soon.
Love you. Bye
Love
bye.
you. Bye.